Hi guys, in today's video we are going to be taking a look at 8 useful tips for beginners in Rocket Arena. Now most of the tips I am going to cover today are designed to help you to get the best out of your first experience, as there are a number of things the game doesn't tell you. But I've also put together some tips that will help you during your first matches in the Rocket Arena. As usual, just before we begin, remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoy the content on this channel and want to help it grow. Anyway, let's get started. So number 1 is about crossplay. Now if you're like me, crossplay was one of the reasons I was so excited to play this game. Being able to play with others on different platforms not only means you can play with friends you wouldn't normally be able to, it helps with the overall player count, and for YouTubers like myself it allows you to play with your subscribers no matter what platform you have the game on. Anyway, the important thing you need to know is that crossplay is actually disabled by default, and if you want to enable it you need to go into your game settings by hitting the burger menu and turning crossplay from disabled to enabled. While some people may feel this is obvious, but to me I think most people would assume crossplay was automatically on, but I do like how you do have the option to turn it on and off. The next 3 tips are for those of you who prefer to test out the characters and have some practice engagements before heading into multiplayer. So tip number 2 is about the characters menu. This is where you can find out about each of their unique abilities and select their outfits. However, strangely the characters' abilities are not shown on the main character screen. You have to go into customization. You can do this by selecting the competitor equipment button or by double clicking on the character themselves. Now on the right you will see a list of their abilities and what each one does, but what's also a really nice touch is that each character has their own backstory, and you can access this by selecting the story button. Tip number 3 is to go into practice mode and test out each of the unique characters. There are 10 currently, all with a different set of abilities and playstyles. Practice mode gives you a bot to fight against and a few item boxes so you can try everything out at your leisure. Alternatively, if you want to try out the characters in context but fight against some fairly easy opponents, tip number 4 is going to be for you. This tip is related to private matches. So not only can private matches be used to play against your friends or a specific group of people, it actually gives you an option to select AI bots to fight against. This can actually be really useful to test out a specific character or just go through each one in a more casual scenario. Tip number 5 is about game modes. So in total there are 5 game modes at the moment, and they are split into 3 categories. We have Arena, Knockout and Rocketbot Attack. However, strangely in the menu there isn't a description of each game type or a breakdown of which game modes are in which category, so I'm going to start off with the 2 categories that are just a single game mode. So the first one is Knockout. This is basically your standard team deathmatch where the first team to get 20 KOs wins. Next up is Rocketbot Attack, which actually does have a description, and this is basically a cooperative mode against AI bots. A number of bots will spawn and you have to destroy all bots within the time limit. The final category is Arena, and this has 3 different game modes. We have Rocket Ball, which is basically capture the flag in rounds, so you have to pick up the rocket ball and put it in the team's goal. Whenever a rocket ball is scored, the round will end and start again. The first team to get 5 wins. Next is Mega Rocket, which kind of works similarly to Headquarters from Call of Duty. Basically during the game a Mega Rocket will spawn and it's up to your team to capture its location. If you capture it you will get 1 point. First team to 5 Mega Rockets wins. Finally, we have Treasure Hunt, which I have to say is probably the most unique of all the game modes. So Treasure Hunt has 2 alternating rounds, but the overall idea is to collect more treasure than your opponents. So the first round is much like Oddball from the Halo franchise. A treasure chest spawns, and if you pick it up, for every second you have the chest, you will earn coins. The longer you hold onto the treasure chest, the more coins you collect. The second round is much more simple and is essentially a Mario simulator. Giant golden coins appear all around the map and you have a time limit to collect as many as possible. The first team to get 250 coins wins. Tip 6 is just a simple reminder, but it can be easy to forget to use the dodge ability when you start playing it. This is something you are taught in the tutorial, but when the fast-paced action begins, I found that you can get distracted and completely forget about the ability. Well, that's what I did anyway. So this ability gives you a few milliseconds of invulnerability to evade an incoming rocket or break a stun. This can be very useful in many situations, and it actually has a pretty fast recharge. This can also be sped up if you use the ninja headband item. Tip 7 is for the end of a game, and this one again is super simple, but I'm sure it's going to save you guys from some facepalm moments. So unlike most multiplayer games, Rocket Arena matches don't actually end automatically. Instead, when a match ends, you are presented with this scoreboard screen, and to continue you have to actually press the continue button, unbelievably, but there were definitely some moments when I just looked at this screen expecting it to change and it didn't. The final tip is actually a really interesting one that can be found on the Rocket Arena website. If you would like some more detail on any of the game modes or just some basic guides, head over to the tips and tricks section of the website and view the articles on there. Of course, you can always stick around here as I have some other guides on the way, but it's nice that the devs have put together some start guides for new players. Anyway guys, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your favourite tip was in the comments below. But other than that, remember to subscribe and I shall see you in the next one. Okay, thanks guys. Bye. Bye.